Today let us see about aggregate demand in a two-sector model. In two-sector model we have seen there are only firms and households. So when we have discussed about aggregate demand, the different components of aggregate demand are, we have seen AD is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus N. Here C is your consumption expenditure, I is your investment expenditure, G is government expenditure, and X minus M, that is your net exports. So this is what we have seen are the components of aggregate demand. But when we come to two-sector model, in two-sector model we are not going to study about government. We are not going to study about foreign sector. So what is remaining? These two will not be there. So your aggregate demand will remain C plus I. So in two-sector model, the formula, the aggregate demand will become AD is equal to C plus I. So C is the consumption of households, that is consumption expenditure. I is your investment expenditure, that is done by the firms. Now let us see diagrammatically what is AD and how it is to be represented. Here I am going to show you by a schedule how your AD is influenced by change in income and consumption and investment expenditures. So let us see. So your first column is Y, that is your income, then C, that is your consumption expenditure, then I, that is your investment expenditure, and AD is equal to C plus I. Now let us come to the income column. First, income is 0. Even income is 0, the consumption expenditure will be there, and that is 40. Let us take it 40. So investment expenditure, this investment is also autonomous investment, that is free from income. So your investment is 20. Then AD is equal to C plus I. So that is going to be 40 plus 20 is equal to 60. So even if your income is 0, some minimum consumption expenditure will be there and fixed investment expenditure will be there, which is not affected by the income level. So your aggregate demand is C plus I, that is 40 plus 20 will become 60. Now income have increased, that has become 100. So your consumption is 120 and your investment expenditure will remain same, that is 20. So here C plus I is going to be 120 plus 20, so that is 140. Your income is 100 and your aggregate demand is 140. Then your income have increased to 200. When income have increased to 200, the consumption expenditure is also 200. Okay, consumption expenditure is also increasing with proportion to income. In respect to income, investment expenditure will remain the same. So this is going to be 200 plus 20. So this is going to be 220. Then your income goes on increasing, that becomes 300. When income is increasing to 300, your consumption expenditure is increasing to 280. This has become 280 and your investment expenditure will remain same. So this is going to be 280 plus 20 is equal to 300. So here your income and aggregate demand both are same. Now your income still goes on increasing, now that is becoming 400. Then your consumption expenditure, that is C, is going to be 360. Then your investment expenditure is 20. So 360 plus 20, that is going to be 380. Okay, so your income is 400 and aggregate demand is 380. So we have saved some money. How much you have saved? 20 rupees you have saved, because your income is 400. How much you have spent? 380. So 20 rupees is saved. Your income still increases. Okay, that goes to suppose 500. Then your expenditure is 440. and your consumption for investment expenditure will remain the same, that is 20. So this is 440 plus 20 is equal to 460. So now your income is 500 and AD is 460. So what is the amount of saving? 500 minus 460, so 40 is the saving. So we can understand here, when income is 0, okay, your aggregate demand is 60. Then as income goes on increasing, okay, your expenditure is also increasing. Investment expenditure will remain same, because this is autonomous investment that will remain free from level of income. So your aggregate demand is also going on increasing. But okay, as income increases after certain level, what happens? Your consumption expenditure, okay, will be less than your income. So that will give rise to what? Savings. These things I have explained to you very well while explaining the components of aggregate demand. Here anyway we are talking about two sector model, so we have taken only two things, that is consumption expenditure and investment expenditure. AD is equal to C plus I. We are not studying about government expenditure and we are not studying about foreign sector, that is exports minus imports or net exports. Now let us come to the diagram. Now let me explain you diagrammatically what will be the aggregate demand in a two sector model. Let us take the quadrant Y, O, X. We always take Y, O, X because this both X axis and Y axis are positive. Then we will take aggregate demand on OY axis and your income, that is Y, on OX axis. Now our aggregate demand, that is C plus I, this will start from here, okay. This is making an intercept on Y axis. This is your aggregate demand curve. This is equal to C plus I. So that is 60. It is starting from here. So it is making an intercept on Y axis. So here even if income is 0, aggregate demand is 60. Why it is 60? Because there is consumption expenditure 40 and autonomous investment, that is 20. This cannot be saved. You cannot minimize this. Even if income is 0, people will have some minimum expenditure. They will spend money on food, clothing, shelter, all these things. So minimum expenditure will be there. So C will be there. And autonomous investment, as I told you, that is free from income. So aggregate demand is making an intercept on Y axis. Here income is 0, but expenditure is there. Then we have seen investment, autonomous investment, that is 20. Let this be here. This is your I, autonomous investment. I mark this point as T and let the autonomous investment be R. I hope you understood these things. Now we will see, okay, we will calculate autonomous consumption, that is C. How to calculate C? We calculate C as C is equal to AD minus I. We have already seen AD is equal to C plus I. So from this we are going to calculate C, consumption expenditure. C is equal to AD minus I, investment. So this is your investment expenditure, what I have shown. Now this investment expenditure, when I deduct from your AD, I will get C. So let me subtract that. So I have subtracted, okay, your investment expenditure from AD. So what you will get? You will get C. This is your C. So that is denoted by consumption expenditure, C bar. And why this is called consumption expenditure? Because this is free from levels of income. Even if your income is 0, consumption expenditure will be there. In the same way, autonomous investment will also be there even if your income is 0. So this is your diagrammatic representation of aggregate demand under two sector model. Here we are taking what? C and I, that is consumption expenditure of households and investment. So this is your AD. AD is equal to C plus I. Then from this we are deriving C, that is consumption expenditure, that will be equal to aggregate demand minus investment. Then this is your autonomous consumption. This is C bar. this is free from income levels, then this is your I. So I hope diagrammatically you understood what is aggregate demand and how it is to be drawn. Now let us see what are the important points about this graph, what are the important points about aggregate demand that everyone should remember when we study aggregate demand. So, when I talk about important points of aggregate demand under two-sector model, the first point is we have to remember that AD is equal to C plus I. We have already discussed this. In two-sector model, consumption expenditure will be there and investment expenditure will be there. Then the second point, that is your slope of AD curve. The slope of aggregate demand curve. We have seen that the slope of AD curve is going somewhat like this. So that is a positive curve. As the income increases, the aggregate demand curve also increases. It goes up. So we can say AD curve, the slope of AD curve is positive. That is, it increases with increase in income. Then the third thing what we have to see is the consumption curve. So here we can say slope of consumption curve. You see, we have seen that AD has got two components. One is your consumption, other is your investment. So consumption curve. So this is including your consumption. There are two components in aggregate demand: consumption and investment. So we can say consumption curve is also increasing up. So as the income increases, consumption also increases. That is what it means. Then fourth thing what we have to see is the slope of investment curve. Investment curve, that is I. This one. Here I is fixed. I we have seen that is constant. So I is a straight line. The investment expenditure is fixed. So your investment curve is a straight line parallel to x-axis as it is fixed. So I hope you understood all the important points about this aggregate demand and two-sector model. So that is your aggregate demand and its concept.